My fiancé gaslit me into thinking I cheated, but he was sleeping with his ex. Hey Reddit. His name is Ryan. We've been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. We were supposed to get married in 6 months. I thought he was my soulmate. He was charming, affectionate, and made me feel safe, until he didn't. A few months ago, he started acting distant. He'd come home late from work, barely look at me, and always seemed lost in thought. At first, I thought it was stress. He had a demanding job, and I knew he was dealing with deadlines. But then, the accusations started. One night, I was washing dishes when he leaned against the counter, arms crossed, watching me. His voice was cold when he asked, "Where were you last night?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" "I was here." He scoffed. "No, you weren't. I woke up around 3 a.m. and you were gone. I called your phone, but it went straight to voicemail." I stared at him, completely confused. I hadn't gone anywhere. I had gone to bed at 10, right beside him. I even remembered waking up to go to the bathroom around 2 a.m., and he was snoring. "Ryan, I never left the apartment. You must have been dreaming." His jaw tightened. "Don't gaslight me, okay? I know what I saw. Just tell me the truth." I laughed nervously. "Ryan, I swear, I was here all night." He stormed off, muttering about how I always had an excuse. It unsettled me, but I brushed it off. Maybe he had a bad dream. Maybe he was just exhausted. But then, it happened again. And again. Each time, the details became more elaborate. He'd say he saw me walking out of the building. That he checked my location, and it showed I was across town. That one of his friends saw me with another man. None of it made sense. I started doubting myself. Was I sleepwalking? Was my phone glitching? I even started setting up my phone to record myself sleeping, but every morning, the footage showed the same thing: I never left my bed. Ryan, on the other hand, became obsessed. He'd go through my phone, demand to know my whereabouts at all times, and even started calling my work to confirm I was actually there. I felt like I was going insane. One day, he sat me down with a serious expression. "I want you to be honest with me. Are you seeing someone else?" I gaped at him. "Ryan, for the last time, no." "Why don't you believe me?" "Because things don't add up. Your phone was off for hours last night. You had a missed call from an unknown number. You smelled like cologne that wasn't mine." I felt dizzy. None of that was true. My phone had been charging. I didn't have any missed calls. And I definitely didn't smell like another man. He wouldn't let it go. He said he'd noticed changes in me, that I was being distant, that I wasn't as affectionate, that I avoided eye contact. I tried to explain that I was just overwhelmed by his constant accusations, but he just smirked, like he had caught me in a lie. At one point, I started questioning myself. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe I was being distant. Maybe I was somehow giving him reasons to doubt me. And then, I found out the truth. Ryan was in the shower when his phone buzzed on the nightstand. I wasn't the type to go through his messages, but something in me snapped. I needed to know why he was doing this to me. I opened his texts, and there she was, Sophie. His ex. The one he had sworn he had zero contact with. I felt sick as I scrolled. Their messages weren't just casual. They were intimate, detailed, filled with late-night confessions and "I miss you." Then, I saw the worst of it. "I can't believe she still hasn't caught on," Sophie had texted. "You're really making her think she's the problem?" Ryan had replied, "She's too busy doubting herself." It's honestly hilarious. My hands shook. He had been doing this on purpose. The accusations, the gaslighting, the paranoia, it was all a cover. He was cheating, and instead of owning up to it, he decided to manipulate me into thinking I was the unfaithful one. I took screenshots. Every single one. Then, I did something I never thought I'd do. I walked into the bathroom, held up his phone, and said, "Who's hilarious now?" Ryan's face went pale. He lunged for the phone, but I stepped back. "Don't even try it," I warned. "I know everything." He tried to talk his way out of it. He said I was misinterpreting the messages. That it wasn't what it looked like. That he and Sophie were just friends. "Friends don't sleep together, Ryan." His mouth opened, then closed. He knew he was caught. I packed my bags that night. He'd begged me to stay. He swore he'd been confused, that he didn't know why he did it, that he still loved me. But I was done. I moved in with a friend and blocked him on everything. He tried to reach out through mutual friends, but I made it clear, I wanted nothing to do with him. Looking back, I can't believe I let it go on for so long. I can't believe I let him make me doubt myself. But the important thing is, I got out. And now? I'm healing.